Kim Taehyung's name has again become a hot topic of discussion in various global fan communities after a number of entertainment media and stage observers named him as one of the best pop dancers of this generation. To some, the title may sound surprising. Taehyung has often been praised for his iconic visuals, deep, distinctive vocal tone, and unmatched stage charisma. But for ARMY and those who followed BTS's journey from the beginning, this recognition actually feels like a puzzle piece that has finally been placed in the right position. Behind his relaxed image, Taehyung keeps a technical discipline that he does not always show off openly. Since the time of the trainee, she was known not as the main dancer in the official structure of the group. The position is often attached to other members who do have a stronger dance background since childhood. But that's precisely where Taehyung's appeal is formed. He developed not as an instant product, but rather as an artist who shaped his own body to be in tune with the music he performed. Each era of BTS's comeback shows significant improvements in body control, movement isolation, and micro-expression details that make their performances feel alive. In a number of live performances, Taehyung demonstrated the ability to understand music not just as rhythm, but as emotion. It's not just counting 8 beats and then moving according to the choreography. It breaks lyrics into gestures. It extends the tone into the gaze. It cuts the beat into a firm shoulder beat. This is what many choreographers refer to as an interpretative pop dancer, the type of dancer who makes choreography a medium for musical acting. When performing songs with dark nuances, the movements are slowed down but intense. As the concept turns bright and energetic, the body becomes light and expressive without losing control. ARMY probably still remembers how on various stages of the world tour, camera highlights often captured moments when Taehyung added small improvisations. It's not the big changes that break the formation, but rather the personal touch. Winks synchronized with the beat drop, hand swings made a little more dramatic, or a split-second pause before the final move that makes the climax feel more powerful. Improvisation is what marks the maturity of a pop dancer. He understands the rules, then knows when it's okay to play within them without destroying the structure. Performance analysts say that one of Taehyung's greatest strengths lies in his torso and shoulder control. In many BTS choreographies that demand high synchronization, this part of the body is often the center of detail. Taehyung is able to keep body lines clean while still providing texture. His movements never look stiff, but also not excessive. It keeps the balance between technique and taste. In the modern pop genre that often combines hip-hop, contemporary, to jazz elements, this adaptability is a plus that cannot be underestimated. Interestingly, the recognition as Best Pop Dancer also comes amid a reflective period for BTS members during the conscription phase and individual projects. The public, which previously may have focused more on vocal or visual achievements, is now beginning to review the archives of old performances. Taehyung's fandom videos from different eras are back viral. Many realize that its consistency over the years is not accidental. He may not always be in the middle of the formation as the center of the dance, but when the song requires a magnetic aura, the camera almost always finds him. As an artist who is also active in solo projects, Taehyung shows a different approach to motion. In his solo work, he tends to choose a more minimalist choreography, but full of meaning. She proves that being the best pop dancer doesn't always have to be the fastest or the most explosive. Sometimes it is precisely the strength lies in the ability to restrain motion, create space, and then fill it with the right expression. This is what makes many viewers feel interested without being able to directly explain why. Not a few international choreographers appreciate Taehyung's musicality, his ability to read instrumental details. When the bass line appears, the hips respond with a subtle groove. When there is a layer of background vocals, his hands seem to follow the flow of harmony. This kind of sensitivity is rarely possessed by nature. It is usually born from long training and high-flying hours. The fact that Taehyung was able to maintain those qualities on the big stage with the pressure of millions of spectators shows a stable performance mentality. For ARMY, this title is not just a label. It is a validation of an artist's long journey that is often reduced to just his handsome face or mysterious aura. Taehyung proves that he is the complete package, a vocalist with a unique baritone color, a performer with a strong stage presence, as well as a pop dancer who is able to convey a story through his body. In a fast-moving and competitive industry, consistency becomes the most valuable currency. And that consistency is what he keeps from year to year. When the public calls him the best pop dancer, what is really celebrated is not only his technique, but his evolution. From trainees who initially felt left behind in terms of dance, to performers whose every move was awaited. From group members who share the spotlight with 6 others, to individuals who remain radiant even in brief frames. The journey is not instantaneous, and perhaps it is precisely because of the long process that this recognition feels more meaningful. In the end, any degree can come and go. But the traces of the performance will always remain in the archives of the stage, in the memory of the audience, and in the recordings that are constantly replayed by subsequent generations. If today many call Taehyung one of the best pop dancers, it is because they see more than just movement. They see dedication, detail, and courage to dance not just with the body, but with the soul. And for ARMY, that's more than enough to answer the big question, why Taehyung deserves to be named Best Pop Dancer. Industry observers judge, Kim Taehyung's strength lies precisely in his ability to build moments. In BTS's massive concerts, filled with precision choreography and high energy, he knows when to completely blend in with the formation and when to put small accents that make the audience hold their breath. Many clips of old performances are back in circulation, showing how simple details, the way he turns his head a fraction of a second slower, the way his shoulders drop following the final beat are able to create dramatic effects that are difficult to replicate. In an era of intense songs with fast tempos, Taehyung doesn't try to beat other dancers with sheer force. He chose to play on dynamics. When another member stomped hard, he sometimes held back the energy and then released it right at the moment of climax. This strategy makes his movements feel contrasting and actually more prominent. That contrast is what performance analysts often talk about as evidence of artistic maturity. It does not just follow the choreography, but understands the composition of the stage as a whole. Interestingly, during the break in the group's activities due to military service, discussions about the quality of Taehyung's dance became even more intense in international forums. Many reviewed the old fan cam and found a pattern of consistency, clean lines of hands, smooth transitions between movements, as well as facial expressions that are always in sync with the narrative of the song. No movement feels empty. Even in a split second, he keeps the character. In her solo projects, the minimalist approach she chooses emphasizes her identity as a pop dancer who prioritizes taste. He dared to come up with a calmer choreography, letting the empty space speak. Amid an industry that often relies on bursts of energy and step complexity, the decision showed confidence. It knows its strengths not just in speed, but in control and atmosphere. For many fans, this coronation was like an official recognition of something they had seen for a long time. Taehyung may not always call himself the main dancer, but the stage has proven that he is a complete performer. It grows over time, fixes small details, and lets the process do the talking. So when the title of Best Pop Dancer was attached to his name, the public no longer saw it as a surprise, but rather a logical consequence of a long journey lived with consistency and dedication.